Bean teaches you to get 100% of the prize. When the host reads out number 919, Bean looked at the card in his hand and saw that it was 616. Then Bean had an idea. Turned the number card upside down, and the 6 became a 9. He actually won the grand prize, a 5-day, 6-night holiday to France, and a video camera. Bean arrives in Paris and changes trains, hailed a taxi and said he was going to the station. Just as Bean was sorting out his wallet, the taxi was stopped by someone else. The last car he got was to the Arc de Triomphe. When he arrives, Bean is baffled. He found a map and gestured with his compass. Then he followed the compass, stepped over a bench in the square, and caused a traffic jam. Walked into a restaurant to cause chaos, finally arriving at the station. Then Bean goes into the station restaurant to get a bite to eat. But Bean doesn't speak French. The waiter then recommended the restaurant's signature dish, the sashimi platter. Once the dish was served, Bean was completely dumbfounded that it was even moving. Bean hesitantly took the oysters into his mouth. Then he grabbed the prawns and crunched them in his mouth. Bean was in agony, so he paid and ran away. Then he arrives at the station. Bean asks a man to help him with the video. The first time the tow truck was in the way of the camera. The second time he accidentally kicks over a man's drink. Bean takes the drink away and reshoots. The third time Bean is finally satisfied. Man turns around to get his drink. At this point the door closes. Man desperately trying to catch the train. Bean then realizes that the man's son is on the train. Bean feels a little guilty for breaking up the father and son. He makes the boy laugh, but the boy has no expression on his face. At the next station, the boy tricks Bean off the train with him. Then the train leaves. Bean then remembers that his luggage is still on the train. The boy's father's train is passing through the station. The man writes down his phone number, but his hand blocks the last 2 digits. Bean and the boy combine all the numbers. They dialed them one by one but couldn't get them to work. And then the train came. They got on the train in a hurry, but the ticket was left on the platform. Then the ticket inspector came. Bean told the boy to hide under his seat. Then he hid himself in the toilet. But the ticket inspector didn't get away. In the end, Bean and the boy were thrown off the train. Who can resist the pampering of a young boy? The woman looks at the boy and gives him some money, but then another man panders to him. The woman leaves with her suitcase. She thought to herself, "What kind of a psycho is this?" Then Bean and the boy started to make another phone call and tried to get money out of the phone booth. They were thrown out. Now they had no money and no food to eat. This is when Bean had a plan. He had his eye on the stereo shop owner's stereo. He told the boy to get the owner's attention, steal the stereo from him, put a piece of cloth on the floor and prepare to collect the money. Then the owner plays different music, and Bean did a different show, played piano into the air, tap dancing and dragging the boy along with him. This magical act kept the audience laughing. It brought in a fortune for the duo. The duo used the money to buy tickets and food. Just as they were getting on the bus, the tickets fell to the ground. They were blown away by the wind. Bean chases after the chicken and ends up stepping on it. The chicken is put in a cage and driven away by its owner. Bean found a random bike. Hitchhiking with the car for a while, he managed to catch up with the chicken's owner. Bean sneaks into the airport, and then he was dumbfounded. So many chickens and bicycles were wrecked by a passing van. Then Bean stopped a car on the side of the road. He waited for a long time, but no car came. Bean got into a wooden house on the side of the road, and he couldn't get out. He screamed for help, but no one heard him. Finally he moves the hut slowly into the road. The sun slowly sets and Bean makes his way over the hill. The next day Bean wakes up in a rural village. The children are playing. A beautiful woman smiles sweetly. The Bean is stunned. Then the chariot and the soldiers swoop in. Bean pounces on the beauty. It turns out this is a movie. Bean was then dragged into the scene as a group actor. Bean was so happy to be in costume, so happy that he had a smile on his face as he charged. However, within 10 minutes of starting work, the director fired him after 10 minutes. This man had no money to go to France. Stopped a car on the road. The beautiful woman is an actress named Lisa. He was going to Cannes, France, for a film festival. On the way, even though they didn't speak the same language, the two of them spoke happily. While passing through a city, Bean unexpectedly met the boy again. The three of them set off together for the festival. On the way, Lisa found a petrol station to change her dress, only to see the TV showing a wanted notice for herself and Bean. It turns out that the boy's father is a judge at the festival. The security camera at the station catches Bean's face, and Lisa was caught on camera eating with Bean at a restaurant. Was caught on camera. Lisa put her clothes on Bean's body. When the police checked the car, they saw a little girl and an old man with white hair. Lisa and the three of them got through without a hitch, but only one person could get into a ticket. So Bean and the boy slipped in through the back door. But on the way they met a security guard. Bean handed the guard his ticket, but when he opened it, the ticket inside was drawn by Bean himself. Bean then knocks the guard down. Once backstage, Bean tells the boy to wait here and runs off to find the judges. Here's Lisa's film on the screen, but Lisa's shot is only about 10 seconds long. Lisa says her scenes have all been cut. Then Bean went into the projection room and took out the video camera. The hall went dark for a moment, and when it came back on, the screen was showing a video of Bean all the way through. At this point the director is furious and barges into the screening room, and Bean tumbles into the hall and stomps out on a chair. He happens to be in the C-suite. The man is furious to see Bean, asking where his son has gone, and then the boy comes up. The father and son are finally together, and Bean is the last one to leave. As he was walking out into the hall, he saw the sea outside the door. Focusing on the road outside, across the road of cars he finally came to France's luxury tourist destination. And that's the end of the story. If I had to choose a funny actor, I would choose Rowan Elkins. He was a doctor, but chose to be a comedian, and brought us so much joy.